All right, hey, good afternoon. Gabe DeArmond here, PowerMizzou.com. We normally do this show on Fridays, but we're changing our schedule a little bit this week. It is the bye week, no Mizzou, so I'm going to be out of town this weekend. We're moving up Choosing Wisely, presented to you by MasterTech to Thursday afternoon, and we got a special guest for you guys we're going to bring in just a minute, but do want to remind you first that this show is brought to you by the fine people at MasterTech Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling every single week, all October. That means this week and then next week will be the last week you can do this. MasterTech is going to donate $10 from every service call and $100 of every heating and cooling system they sell to the American Cancer Society's Real Men Wear Pink campaign against breast cancer. Get a hold of them at 573-777-7777 to set that up. Also, if you set up a free visit with them for a free quote on a new heating and cooling system, mention this show, mention Power Mizzou, and you're going to get a $35 credit for future service work on plumbing, heating, and cooling. So, hey, we had a bye week, like I said, and wanted to make sure to give you guys somebody that would entertain you as a guest. So one of the names from I guess we can call them now. I don't want to date you, but we can call those the glory days of Missouri football right now. Danario Alexander with us. What's going on, man?
Oh man, how's it going, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I guess you can call it the glory days, man. It's been over 10 years, so. Man, you can kind of put us in that category now.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Sure.
I did one of these things over quarantine. I did one of these things with Kim English, and I said, I know that I've been doing this too long because guys I covered as recruits are now like head coaches, in college. So it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Like, every time I think about it, you just kind of realize, like, every year, man, it's kind of another year passes, and we passed 10 years, man. I really can't believe it how time just kind of takes off after college is done. But I'm on for the journey. I'm enjoying it for sure.
For the Missouri fans that are watching this, what are you doing now? Where are you at?
Well, I live in Houston. My primary residence is in Houston, but I'm living in Boston, Massachusetts now. My wife is from here. We're pregnant, so we're gonna have be around family for a little bit and. But yeah, so that's where we're at now. I started a company also that helps college athletes benefit from their name, image, and likeness. So that's kind of my big project right now, and I'm looking forward to it.
How's that work? I mean, are you doing is that basically like an agent? Or are you their representation, or just kind of what's the company?
So we created the company is called Free Agent U, and it's a two-sided platform. That businesses and college athletes can be a part of. And how it works is if a business wants to create a social media marketing deal, they can get on the platform, search student athletes, and they can pick from our catalog of student athletes to create those deals from. So we're based in, we're going to start out in Columbia, Missouri, try to get the Tigers on board, and just kind of just give college athletes the opportunity to benefit from this new wave of things with NIL. So it's been pretty good, man. I think a guy like me would have benefited from that. Being that my primary or my highest earning potential was at the college level. So it's definitely personal to me. And, I'm just trying to bring opportunities, just trying to give everybody opportunity to benefit from it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. I mean, I don't know if you and Spoon and guys like Macklin and I mean, that would have been worth something back here in 2006 to 2010. You guys ever think, man, we came along a little too early?
Yes, exactly. Look, I remember, after the KU game in 2007, I had a pretty big game. It was the biggest game of my career at the point, biggest game of maybe the university's career. I mean, our time. But I remember leaving the facilities after practice after that week, and there would be people standing outside the facilities. It'd be 9, 10 o'clock, and we would come out signing autographs, right? And, I'm excited to sign autographs and stuff like that. But I got a phone call from my cousin that week and told me to go on eBay and search my name. And it turns out that a lot of those autographs that I was signing outside of the facilities were up on eBay for like $50. So I'm like, man, I could use that money, right? So, yeah. So just like things like that really kind of, it didn't really sit well with me at the time, but I think, now it's a great opportunity for players, man. And we're all for the players, me being a former player myself. So I'm excited about it.
I know we're going to get to picking some games and talking general college football in a couple minutes, but I know I saw on your Instagram you were at the game when Missouri played at BC, and then you mentioned you were in Columbia for the A&M game last week, right? So you still keeping tabs on them?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep tabs on them, man. Funny thing, I was in Boston. I didn't realize that Mizzou was coming to Boston until like a couple weeks before. I was on the golf course playing with some random guys, and you guys, the Mizzou came up. And this guy was a Boston College guy, and so he was very excited about us coming up. The crazy thing is, man, like, being at the stadium, Boston College, I think it holds about 48,000. But, they were all excited about an SEC team coming up to Boston College, right? So we ended up taking the L that day, and they stormed the field, right? So I didn't realize the magnitude of what was going on until after the game. So it was a unique experience. It's always good to kind of experience different stadiums, just their energy and everything. But it was a tough loss for us. But I definitely enjoyed being around the guys for sure.
Have you had a chance to meet Eli Drinkwitz and any of the new staff here at all?
Yeah, well, me and Eli, we talk over text, and I met a few of the staff. So they seem like pretty good people. I tell people all the time I love Eli's energy that he brings to the program, especially with the kids today. It's just a different era. You have to bring a different type of enthusiasm to these kids, right? So I think he's a good fit for that. Definitely, he needs to get a couple more years, get his recruits in, and just get a system in play, right? So. I'm looking forward to it, though, for sure.
Yeah. All right. So I just got one more question for you before we get to some of these games. So I always say that you had the greatest individual season that I think exists in the history of Missouri football. So do you want somebody to come along and break any of those records, or would you like to see that 113 for 1,781 stick around?
I mean, of course I wanted to stick around, but if it's for the better of the team, man, bring them in. I know we just landed a huge recruit with Luther. Yep. Yesterday, right?
Tuesday night.
I want a guy like that to Tuesday night. I want a guy like that to come in and do it, man. Like, because obviously it'd be fun to watch. To see a guy go for like 1,700 yards. It's going to be entertaining. But records are meant to be broken. I know J-Mac kind of set the record before he left, and I wanted to break that, and then I wanted to kind of set the record as high as far out as possible so nobody can get out. So we'll see, man. But if someone comes along and does it, man, I'll be right there to support them every step of the way.
All right, good deal. So here's what we do every week. I just pick 9 random games. You got off lucky this week because there's no Mizzou game, right? So you don't have to either pick Mizzou if you don't really think they're going to cover, or you don't have to be the guy that picks against them. I just kind of throw out games here in order. I'm going to let you go first. You tell me who you pick. We pick against the spread. I'm getting worse every week. I started out really well, but I'm falling apart. So
all right.
So we're starting out with a team you used to be familiar with. Illinois getting 24 points at Penn State. Illinois, not really the Illinois team that you were used to in those days.
Yeah, no, not at all. And I heard their coach kind of threw their team under the bus too. So I guess he's trying to light a fire under their ass. But my apologies for cursing. But I think that works to a certain extent. They may come out on fire, but it won't be enough. But I do not think Penn State will cover the spread. I think their QB got hurt last week or something like that, right?
Oh, okay. So you're going to Illinois?
Yeah. So I don't. Yeah, I'm going to Illinois.
All right, I'm going opposite because I'm not sure really Penn State can score 24 points. That's probably dumb, but Illinois is rough times, man. Those are fun games when you guys would open the season against them, and I know that's coming back, but yeah, Illinois has been a little bit down. So all right, now I guess it's your hometown team now is next. We got Boston College getting 6 points at Louisville.
Hometown team, they don't do that to me. But yeah, but no. So BC, I am going to go with BC is not the favorite, right?
Right. Louisville's favored by 6.
Yeah. Okay. But I like BC's run game. I don't think Louisville's going to cover the spread. I'm going to go with BC.
Yeah, I'm going BC too. They got destroyed last week, but I don't think Louisville's all that good. I don't think Lamar Jackson's there anymore. I don't know who is, but he's the last Louisville player I know. So I'm going BC to cover. All right, stay in the ACC. This is shocking. Pittsburgh favored by 3.5 points over Clemson. Like, I guess Trevor Lawrence was really good because Clemson's not any good this year, man.
Yeah, it is rough. I don't know if they lost a lot of guys in the draft or what. It's crazy. But I think Pitt is ranked 24th in the nation.
Something like that, yeah.
And they got the best offense. They got the best offense in the nation, right?
Yep.
So all of those are stacked up against them. But I just think Clemson have a better team. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Clemson.
Okay.
I go with Clemson.
Okay.
I go with Clemson.
I'm still waiting for Clemson to score like. I don't think they've scored more than like 21 points in regulation this year. And I know Pittsburgh has the number 1 passing offense in the country. So I don't think Clemson can score. So I'm going Pitt in this one. So we're already different on 2 of the first 3. That's mostly what I like. I just want us to be different. So we can create the controversy, right? Okay, now this one good. I know which way you've got to go on this one, but this goes back to your days as a Big 12 guy. Oklahoma favored by 39 over KU.
And they're going to get all 39. I'm going with OU.
OU might cover that line honestly by halftime. Like, I mean,
yes, no question.
Does it obviously you watch college football. Do you ever think about like literally, I think the last year KU won a road game in the conference, I think you were still in college. Like, that's not even an exaggeration. I think it was 2009 was the last year they won a conference road game.
Yeah, that is crazy. That is absolutely ridiculous. And I think they stormed the field after winning their first game after a long time, too.
Yeah, against like South Dakota or something.
Yeah. So, no, that's crazy. Poor KU. I don't feel bad for them, but hey, it is what it is. I'm taking OU.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm curious. Obviously, a lot of the guys you played with in those games when 2007, and that was a big deal. The guys on your team you keep in touch with. Did you get to know any of those guys on the other side of that, any of the KU guys, and do you still keep in touch with any of them at all?
Yeah, I got a chance. So Daryl Stuckey, who was the safety then, we played together in San Diego.
Okay.
Good dude, real good dude, very physical. He was a great special team player on our team. And Chris Harris, who I think Chris Harris is probably one of the best cornerbacks I played against, and Aqib Talib also. We spent a little time together at a couple Super Bowls just kind of hanging out. So, I got a chance to know some guys. Des Briscoe, he was a good guy too. So, yeah, we kept up. You know, I talked a lot of trash to him. They never let me live down in the 2008 game, but hey, it is what it is.
Hey, you guys won the one that counted. I always said Missouri fans could always say, hey, in the best season in your school's history, you couldn't even win your own division. So, you know.
Exactly.
2008, I forget, but one year, wasn't it you and Des Briscoe just basically going back and forth? Like, you each had a couple hundred yards in that game, didn't you?
Yeah, that was 2009. I had 233 in the touchdown. I think Des had like 242. I forgot what he had.
Yeah.
What he had, but I should have had 300 yards. Man, I had a stop and go that I turned around and tried to cut back instead of just outrunning the DB, and that would have gave me 1,800 yards that year.
Wow.
But hey, you know, can't cry with spilled milk, right?
I was gonna say, I love that it's 12 years later and you still remember that one play that didn't get you to 300.
Right.
All right. So next up, we got Oregon, 1.5 underdog at UCLA. You spent some time in California. UCLA looked like they were going to be good. Now not really as good, but they're better this year than they have been.
Yeah, I think they got a pretty solid defense also. So this is going to be a tough one to pick. I would go. I'm a defensive guy. You know, obviously I'm an offensive guy, but I love defense. Right? If you can play defense, I'm gonna go with you. So I'm gonna go with UCLA.
UCLA. Okay. I don't know, man. I don't watch a lot of Pac-12 football. Like I'm old. I go to bed early,
Right.
so most of those games are over. But I don't think UCLA is that good. I'm going to Oregon on the road, based on nothing. I got no reason for it. I'm just going to
Right.
Oregon. We get to the SEC games now. And so real quick before we pick these three or four SEC games, like how long did it take you to adjust to? All right, my alma mater's an SEC team. I guess I'm an SEC football fan now.
It's still tough to see, man, and to hear that the Big 12 could possibly be dissolved within the next couple of years kind of breaks my heart a little bit, right? Because that was my childhood college. Like just watching college football was okay. I'm from Texas. Big 12 was everything, and we kind of we kept up with the SEC because they was always solid, but. It's definitely kind of tough to get used to. I still kind of feel like a little bit out of place a little bit in the SEC.
Right.
But it's growing. It's growing on me for sure.
Yeah, spend a little more time around Tennessee fans and Arkansas fans, and it'll get you used to being in the SEC and get fired up about some of those games. So
exactly.
So Tennessee 25-point underdog against Alabama. So it's at Alabama. What do you think?
At Alabama. I'm going with Alabama.
You're going with Alabama. All right. I had picked Alabama to cover, I think, every single week until 2 weeks ago. It's a pretty good strategy, but I actually think Josh Heupel's doing a pretty good job at Tennessee. Alabama's going to win the game, but I think Tennessee actually covers. I think he's got something going. At least they can score points there. So I'll go there.
Okay.
Now here down a little bit in your neck of the woods where you're from, and I don't remember exactly how close you were to Houston and College Station and all that, but A&M. Did you grow up? Was it more A&M country or was it more Texas country?
I was a Texas guy. So
Okay.
I actually live. So we're about 40 minutes north of A&M.
Okay.
And I was like 35 minutes from UT. So my first college football game that I went to was at University of Texas. I've always been a UT fan.
Okay.
Never really liked the Aggies for whatever reason. But
well,
yeah,
you can't.
So
I mean, if you like Texas, you can't like A&M.
You can. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I just feel like I didn't like the uniforms, and it just never clicked with me, right? So, and I was a big, Vince Young is one of my favorite players of all time, right? And it was definitely that was my team for sure. So, A&M, I didn't have any hate for them. I just never watched them, never paid attention to them.
I got you. So they're favored by 20.5 over South Carolina. You just saw them up close last week. I mean, I thought they looked fine against Missouri. I thought that game was a little bit more about Missouri not playing well than it was about A&M being really good, but they're favored by about 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, and they're coming off that high with Alabama, but now I think that's going to die down a little bit. I actually think it's going to be a closer game than 20 points. So I'm going to go with South Carolina.
Okay, going South Carolina. I don't know, man. I don't think A&M's all that good.
Yeah.
I was originally going to pick A&M, but I kind of agree with you. I'm going to go South Carolina, even though South Carolina needed like a last-second field goal to beat Vandy last week, so I'm not sure that's a genius pick. But, that's all right. All right, LSU now playing with a lame duck coach. How about this one, man? Ole Miss favored by 9.5 points against LSU. That's not something you would have seen a couple years ago.
It's never something that you would see, but LSU got some real problems on defense. I think they gave up over like 400 yards one week, and then turned around and gave 300 yards. So they got real problems. So I'll go with Ole Miss for sure.
Ole Miss, okay, yeah, I think Lane Kiffin's doing a good job there. Now we get to see if he's if he's going to be the next LSU head coach at some point after this game at the end of the year.
Right.
Last game is a game that when I grew up it was a really big game. I think even when you grew up it was still a pretty big game, and now it's just another game.
Yes.
Notre Dame favored by
Just
7
another
over
game.
USC.
It's at Notre Dame. I remember those games where they used to Notre Dame used to grow the grass a little taller.
Yeah.
To slow
Yeah.
USC down. Remember that?
Right around the Reggie Bush era, yeah.
Yeah. I think what's some of the best college football ever, right? But so Notre Dame's favorite, I go with Notre Dame since they're at home.
Yeah, I'll go with Notre Dame too because, I mean, you want to talk about kind of a train wreck. USC, man. They got some issues these days. I think they got blown out last week. I think it was Utah. But all right, so you got Illinois, BC, Clemson, Oklahoma, UCLA, Alabama, South Carolina, Ole Miss, and Notre Dame. Let's see how many games we disagree on. I took Tennessee. Me betting against Alabama is a pretty bad idea. So we disagree on 4 games. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes, man. But do you watch a lot of college football, or are you pretty busy over the weekends?
Yeah, well, I catch it whenever I can for sure. But definitely, the plan is with my wife is, Saturday comes around, it's college football, but it never stays that way. I have to run around and do something,
right.
Take care of my honeydews, or, I stopped golfing on Saturday, but I used to try to get my 18 in early in the morning too. So we'll see. There's a lot of things that happens on Saturday that keep me from really locking in.
Yeah.
But I try to watch it for sure.
I got you. You gotta go paint the nursery and stuff these days, right? So how soon is it you're gonna be a dad?
So January 21st is the due date, which is my wife's birthday, which is kind of crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's right around the corner, man. We're looking forward to it. Having a daughter.
Okay.
I definitely started picking up tennis, trying to learn this sport, right? Because that's going to be the sport.
That's where she's going.
I don't know.
I know the Missouri fans out there are thinking, man, we're going to need a wide receiver here in the class of 2040 or whatever it would be, right?
Yeah. We're going to work on that too, for sure. We're definitely going to work on it.
Good deal, man. Well, hey, it was great to catch up, and good luck with the company and everything. And anytime there's anything we can do, we'd love to see how it works for you with all these college athletes and everything. So keep in touch, and would love to help you out when we can.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate you having me on. And the company name is Free Agent U, so you can check us out at freeagentu.com, or send me an email, denario@thelogou.com, and I'll get back to you with any information. So thanks for having me again.
All right, thanks, Danario. Have a good one, man, and best of luck getting some sleep over the next year or so with the baby.
Right.
All
right, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Have a good one. All right, that is Danario Alexander. Again, yeah, guys, like a lot of you said it in the comments, one of the best of all time here. He had the single best Missouri season I've ever seen. I don't think there's any question about that. 1,781 yards. You heard about it. Still disappointed that he didn't get to 1,800 that season. But appreciate him joining us and working the schedule around so we could do it. Trying to get a few former players on this show for you guys throughout the end of the season. Just want to take another look. Here's the picks. Again, he's got Alabama. I've got Tennessee. He's got Clemson. I've got Pitt. And then he's got Illinois. I got Penn State. He's got UCLA. I've got Oregon. We agree on the rest, but there are the picks for the week. We're keeping track all season long, and I'm keeping score against the guests. So appreciate, again, for my money, maybe the best individual player I've ever covered at Missouri, certainly the best individual season I've ever covered at Missouri, Danario Alexander, taking some time. And who's the best at what they do? That's MasterTech Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. There you see the new logo that they debuted in September, actually debuted right around when we started this show, and the phone number 573-777-7777. And want to remind you, they've got 2 special deals for you guys. First of all, if you're watching this show all season long, when you set up a free visit with their Comfort Advisor for a free quote on a new heating and cooling system, all you got to do is tell them, hey, I heard about it on the Power Mizzou show on YouTube. You're going to get a $35 credit for future service work on plumbing, heating, and cooling. And then we're nearing the end of October, about 10 days left in the month. So that means you got 10 days left to contact MasterTech. During the entire month of October, every HVAC service call they do, they're going to donate $10 of that to the American Cancer Society's Real Men Wear Pink campaign. And if you actually buy a new heating and cooling system from them, $100 of that cost will go to the ACS's Real Men Wear Pink campaign against breast cancer. That is all month long. So look, it's a good time to it's cooling off outside. It's in the 40s today. It's a good time to make sure your heat works for the winter. Make sure everything's in shape for your air conditioner, so when you get to next spring, you don't turn it on and find out something's wrong. So again, you give them a call, set up just a free quote, just a check-in, see how everything's going, what the cost would be. You mentioned Power Mizzou, you're going to get $35 off. They're going to donate $10 to the American Cancer Society out of that call. If you actually follow through and buy it, $100 from each system sold to the Real Men Wear Pink campaign. So appreciate MasterTech doing that. Appreciate you guys joining us here live today. Those of you who are live, hit the like button. If you're listening to this on the podcast that I'm going to put up afterwards, just leave us a nice comment. Leave us a 5-star review. Appreciate that. And once again, thanks to Danario Alexander for joining us, and thanks to you guys for watching. We are off as far as streaming all weekend. We'll be back Monday with the weekend recap. I'm sorry, we will not be back Monday. We will be back Tuesday of next week with our recruiting show. So a few days off around the bye week, but stay tuned to PowerMizzou.com and the message board. Sure, we got plenty of stuff coming your way. Thanks for watching, guys.